So okay, now it is sexual reproduction. So sexual reproduction is, we know already, there will be an involvement of two gametes, that is, there will be two parents of opposite sexes. So it involves the formation of male and female gametes of same individuals or different individuals of opposite sex. So the fusion of gametes. So when this male and female gamete fuse, it leads to the formation of zygote. So this zygote further develops to form a particular offspring, that is a new organism forms by the developmentation of this zygote. So the sexual reproduction, the offspring that is produced by the sexual reproductions may not be identical to each other, that is they will not be identical to each other among themselves as well as parents. They will be different from their parents. They will be different among themselves. If two offsprings are given birth, then they will be different to each other also. So when this mode of reproduction, when we compare asexual and sexual reproduction, the asexual reproduction differ greatly in their morphology, physiology and internal structures, whereas sexual reproduction, that is the offsprings which are produced by the sexual mode of reproduction, showed the similar pattern. So now this reproduction, that is from the growth, that maturity, so this period of growth is every organism undergoes this certain period of age, that is they have to grow, then they have to mature. So this period of growth, so this growth we tell it as juvenile phase, or in plants we tell them as vegetative phase. That is this duration, that is this phase will be different, that is this period of growth is different for different organism. So this end of juvenile phase automatically starts with the beginning of reproductive phase. So as the juvenile phase ends, the reproductive phase begins. So this can be very clearly identified in higher plants, that is when they start flowering. So when the higher plants start to flower, we can conclude that the juvenile phase is completed and they have started, or the vegetative phase is completed and they have started with the reproductive phase. So when we compare the vegetative and reproductive and senescent phase, there are three phases in plants. So they are annual, biennial and perennial. So when we take for these three types, annual and biennial plants show clear phases, whereas perennials show unclear phases. That is, it is very difficult to define the particular phase of the plants. So for example, bamboo. So bamboo shows a very difficult phases, that is it flowers only once during its lifetime, that is from 50, that is to after 50 to 100 years it flowers. It produces large number of fruits and they die, that is it only once it flowers, and that too it produces large number of fruits and they die. So this unusual flowering phenomenon can be seen in perennial plants. So another example is Strobilanthes kundiana, that is Neela Kurinji. So this flowers once in 12 years. So once in 12 years we can see this flowering. So large tracts of, so this flower we can we can look into the places of Kerala, Karnataka and Tamil Nadu. So hilly areas of Kerala, Karnataka and Tamil Nadu. So it looks very beautiful as it is a very different perennial plant that it reproduces or produces flowers after 12 years. So large number of tourists are attracted to the places. So now in animals, so this is about plants. So animals, the period of conversion from juvenile to reproductive phase, that is this path from juvenile phase to reproductive phase, during that time it undergoes some morphological and physiological changes. So morphological and physiological changes to activate their reproductive behavior. So to make their reproductive structures or to for their active reproductive behavior, this changes, that is morphological physiological changes undergo. So this reproductive phases is also has variable duration in different organisms. So for example, if we take birds, so laying eggs, so when the birds in nature and in poultry farms, that is when it is grown by humans, the pattern of laying eggs becomes different. So when it is in nature, it lays only seasonally, whereas it is when it is in human control, that is when it is taken in poultry farms, it lays eggs throughout the year. That is, this is only used for the commercial exploitation for human welfare. So this reproduction is completely taken out by the humans. So the next is mammals. If we take it as non-primate and primate, the cyclic changes. So this changes we take it as estrous cycle in non-primate, and primate we take it as menstrual cycle. So for example, cows, sheep, rats, it is estrous, whereas in primate it is monkeys, apes and humans we tell it as menstrual cycle. So in mammals there are seasonal breeders and also continuous breeders. So when they are in natural or wild, so they show favorable seasons. In a particular season, they have particular seasons to breed. During that time they breed. But continuous breeders actually they breed throughout their reproductive phase. So these organisms or these mammals are reproductively active throughout their reproductive phase. So that's the end of the reproductive phase. So first comes the juvenile phase and then reproductive phase, then the senescent phase, that is almost the old age, that is the death phase. So this end of reproductive phase is one of the most common parameters for the senescence, that is the last phase of lifespan is the senescent phase. So during this senescent phase, concomitant changes occurs, that is slowing down of metabolism, the suppression of immunity takes place during this phase. So we know that automatically old age maximum leads to death. So when we take, so in both plants and animals, so the transition of these between these three phases are completely carried out by hormones. The hormones are very clearly responsible for the transition between these three phases. So when the hormones and environmental factors interact, so the interaction, when these two interact, they regulate the reproductive processes and also the behavioral expressions of organisms. So this environmental factors and hormones come together, that is their interaction regulates the reproductive as well as the behavioral expressions. So when the events in sexual reproductions, it is we know that sexual reproduction is very complex and elaborate. So even though they are very complex and elaborate, they follow a regular sequence. That is, we know sexual reproduction is a male and female gamete fusion and the formation of zygote and embryogenesis. But this can be this can be placed under the sequential events. There is three distinct stages. First one is pre-fertilization, then it is fertilization, and the next is post-fertilization.